2016 was another epic year for us. We grew, we took on interesting projects, and I went on very many different tangents and adventures this year, but one was focused on the power of women. And so I was brought in to interview and get to commentary from some of the most iconic people in the world. So when I first had the opportunity to sit down and do a one-on-one with Meryl Streep, I arrived in New York. And you know what I've learned is you don't tell anybody anything, because if it doesn't happen, then you look like a fool. But just the opposite happened. Right there in front of me was Meryl Streep, and she was there to see me, and she was thanking me for being there and capturing this. And I didn't know what to say, but it was an amazing moment. And the purpose was to tell a story. And that's what we do at Khare Communications. We tell stories. And then came Susan Sarandon, Helen Mirren. It didn't stop there. You know, I must have shot over 100 to 200 interviews this year. These contracts that we take on are so robust, so interesting. The people we are meeting are some of the most iconic people from industries that I never thought I would even touch upon. Again, those moments are stories that I'll have for the rest of my life. There's some things that I cannot explain, I don't understand how they happen, but they're happening and I'm going with it. The work and legacy that we do, we live with families, we'll travel with them to document their stories, their words, their thoughts, their ideas for the past, present, and future. The Legacy series started when I was in my master's program, and I did my master's thesis in communications on human legacy, what people, family and friends know about you, versus digital legacy, what someone can Google about you, search about you online, and I brought those into a beautiful product called the Legacy Dialogues. Some of these stories don't get shared with the public. Some of these stories are just left with them and me. I feel very privileged to have the opportunity to sit and talk to these people. You know, we got to go to Sweden this year. We got to go to Geneva, and we got to shoot there with one of the most prominent families from that area. Talk about some incredible personalities, some incredible acumen from business and the world of resources, oil and gas, mining. And I was the one telling their story. They asked me, could you tell our story? Can you use your lenses, your team, your abilities to bring it out? And these are world-class people, and I felt world-class at that moment. I felt like everything that I worked hard for in the last 20 years to get here has culminated into something that has become my life's work based on my passion. We have stepped up our game in how we shoot, edit, how quickly we can turn around information, how well we work with everybody that we interact with. We did the United Nations. Like, you know, the most prolific, interesting leaders come together in this great place, and they have this opportunity to speak in front of a gathering, and you know, the world's biggest superpowers and thought leaders are coming there. I arrive, I'm willing to go anywhere in the world at any time and pull the stories that, you know, I've always been curious about. This year I got to travel around the world and interview some of the most interesting entrepreneurs that the world has ever seen. University of Pennsylvania, Masters of Positive Psychology. And you know, we're in the Wharton School of Business, and I'm shooting these interviews with the biggest thought leaders from positive psychology in the world. India, you know, one of my most favorite places in the world, you know, where my parents were born. I'm not just visiting there, I'm actually working and seeing some of the most interesting people doing things that's changing the shape of technology. What a lot of people see is a finished product. And what's really interesting is there's all this other information that I'm constantly getting through these interviews. I'm learning in the process. I'm getting the opportunity to learn from everybody that I've interacted with, and I take a piece of them with me.